Man, I was just thinking about some game I gave my protege Isaac Grace. He was coming to me about his real estate portfolio and was ready to sell so he can cash out. But he's like, I don't know, I want to hang on for a long time. So I gave him some game that I think we all should kind of think about, and that is, in this climate right now, in this market, if you were to sell, you'd be selling at the height of the market, which is a good thing, right? You can sell at the height of the market and cash out because it is a seller's market. You'll likely get above asking price in many markets, right, for your asset. But then you got to deal with the capital gains unless you do a 1031 tax exchange, right? And they go into something else that you buy, but likely that something else that you buy is also going to be inflated because it's a seller's market, right? So it's like how to beat the seller's market and cash out on your actual cash. Or equity of your property. So the way that you really beat the seller's market is by using the seller's market to be your comps for your LTV, your loan to value, in either a refinance or home equity line. So instead of selling your asset and cashing out at the peak of the market, you refinance or get a home equity line of credit on your asset. And I don't like the home equity line of credits because they can have flexible terms that actually they could decrease your credit line when this market decreases and this market corrects itself. When you get a refinance at a 30-year fixed, you don't have to worry about that adjusting, right? So the perk to the home equity line is you're only paying on what you're using in the line, but they always can adjust your line, right, depending on your terms. So if you get into a 30-year fixed mortgage during the height of comps right now, comparable homes, you could say a home is worth $200,000 right now that you own in your portfolio or your primary residence, and you got an 80% loan to value, meaning the bank's giving you 80% based on what the home is worth in this inflated market, right? Where values in your neighborhood are like sky high. So now you're getting 80% of 200, which is 160,000. Cool. Now say you only owe 120,000 on a home, right? Or 100,000 on a home. So now you got, right, $40,000 to $60,000 worth of equity. So let's say 100,000. You owe 100,000 a home. The market's now worth 200. The bank gives you a loan based on 80% of that 200. So now you're at 160. So you cash out $60,000 tax-free, free and clear, right? And now you use that for other investments and other opportunities and make it turn over for you. But at the same time, you're still keeping a property, still keeping the tax advantages, and still keeping any cash flow, right? If it's a rental property. So here's how that's cool and it beats the market though. If you didn't refinance and you own a home at 200 and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna tap into the equity, I'm gonna just wait. And the market corrects itself anywhere between the next 2 weeks or 2 years. The market corrects itself, and now your comps drop from 200, and all these foreclosures hit from the moratoriums and just backlog of distressed assets, and interest rates go up, and there's no longer as many buyers, and now it's a buyer's market versus a seller's market. Well, now that 200 value might come down to 160 or 150. So now if you refinance at an 80 LTV, right, 80% of 150, now you have a much lower mortgage payment. I could do the math in my head. That's like 8 carried 4. That's like 120. What is that? 120. Like 120, right, on your loan, right? 80% of 150. Now, if you owe 100 on it, you're only cashing out like 20,000 versus the 60,000 you could have cashed out, right, on that property. So the gem is, while it's a hot seller's market and prices are sky high, you don't got to unload your assets. You can keep your long-term wealth and actually enhance your ability to grow that long-term wealth by pulling out tax-free dollars through a refinance and then invest that capital into properties that you find off-market that are distressed and undervalued, or into other grow cash vehicles like stocks or like crypto or like Forex or another entrepreneur endeavor, franchising or whatever. So now you're diversifying your wealth portfolio, you're leveraging the opportunity to leverage your credit and cheap interest rates, low interest rates, and cheap money, all while maximizing this market of inflated, essentially, property values during a peak seller's market. Like, that's how you run a game. That's how you understand money. That's how you build wealth in real life. Peace.